muted.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to week 3 of the Batty Overwatch League. I'm AJS0, joined here with a top 3 Soldier 76 within this channel. Dedicus the streamer, also 30.
Faded. Nice.
30.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. How are you?
You know, I'm feeling all right. When you play a sub, you kind of go in saying we win one game, we keep it close, we can be happy with that.
True. But what do we got going on here? Lennys against Wanjiang in match number 2 of the night. I don't have the team records offhand here.
Yeah, I got a lot of other information on these teams up, but not actually how much they're winning and losing.
Well, no, yeah, actually, I remember. Wanjiang's definitely at the top of the league. At 4-2, I believe. I love it. Lennys. They are 2-4.
Yeah, I believe that sounds right.
Yeah. So it's kind of a redemption or maybe a coming-of-age story here for Lennys, who have had some pretty close matches, but they're just losing out on a little bit on a lot of the maps so far.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be kind of a tough matchup for them going up against Wanjiang here because, like we've been saying all season, like the story for them is they have a pretty good talent level, and they're just one of those teams where it's like when you're in a close game, somebody on that team will usually come through. There's not just one person that has to step up and be the facilitator to end the game. They've got 5 guys you can count on to do that.
True. Yeah, out of all the rosters that panned out in this Batty Overwatch League, definitely the most balanced. Like you said, just like the consistency level of all these players is super high. And they have pretty good coordination and teamwork. I know in week 1 they were running a triple tank a lot. So I probably assume they're going to be looking to do that as well with some choice-made play as well from TK Thrifty.
Yeah, they're kind of the team with, I think, the most wide-open playbook and also the type of players that are willing to try anything. We saw Symmetra, Torbjorn, Reinhardt comp come out of them last week on Volskaya to shut down very aggressive Genji, and they were able to execute on that super well. Probably not something they'd practiced a whole lot. And that's just kind of what, I expect out of these guys. Just, oh, sure, they're running the Mei, whatever. They're running the Torbjorn, whatever. Like, there's nothing that's going to completely shock me for these guys.
Yep, very true. And, yeah, on the other side, Lennys, like we're saying, slightly rough start to the season, but they do have a lot of moments of really good crisp Overwatch play. Tree being kind of the star player of the squad, really tearing it up on Farah and Junkrat so far. But maybe some questionable support play, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, Tree and Ball of Sexy, they've both been excellent more than not. If a little one-dimensional, maybe that's been part of their problem. So we'll see if they maybe branch out a bit more. Tree, you can kind of count on them always to be playing that Farah or that Junkrat in probably 90% uptime this season so far. And it's tough to build a team where your best player is playing those 2 picks all the time. So we'll see if anything changes with Tree tonight. And then Ball of Sexy's been playing a lot of the Roadhog, I think to make way for Failed Destiny to pick the Mei. But he's obviously a very capable DPS player himself. He used to play a lot of Soldier in prior seasons. He's still played quite a bit of that this season.
Yep. Yeah, that Mei play out of Failed Destiny is a lot better than at least I expected going into the season. It's doing a pretty good job of stalling out points, especially there's a match on Lijiang they had. It was very good Mei as well. But we're here on Route 66.
Yeah, so looking at these teams here, we're going to have... it looks like Lennys not entirely sure what they want to pick, as we've got 30 seconds to go and they still haven't locked in all of their heroes and left the spawn yet. So, that's not how I normally like to run things on the first point of the first map of the night, but to each their own. We got Tree out here on the Junkrat, And okay, yeah, 15 seconds to go. Rogue Mallet and Phil Destiny finally picking the Mei and the Lucio. So we're seeing what's a fairly normal looking comp for Lennyface there, with Mei and Junkrat kind of being the focal points.
Wow,
Meanwhile,
that is quite a composition.
Wanjiang Tower, we're seeing something that I believe they ran last week, if not the week before, with the offensive Bastion going to go right on top of the cart. It worked very well for them the last time they ran it, but they are going to be up against a Junkrat, so it's not going to be super easy to execute here.
Yeah, no, Shooter Die playing a little bit further back. TK50, he's out on the payload. BOL comes through to try to block it. Payload says, fuck that, keep going, and TK50 pulls first blood.
Yeah, but Tree is still trying to stop there, just chucking those bombs down at the Bastion. He's gonna take out TK Thrifty, and everyone's now finally jumping onto this cart as hooks are coming down. But it's looking like a lot of picks for the Junkrat. Tree's got a tire available, and this looks like a first fight 1.
Yep, classic corner bend here at Route 66, and they all have to come through this relatively small choke, but man, Mei and Roadhog really just picking people apart with tree spam on top.
A really good answer immediately out of TK Thrifty. He switches over to the Pharah, and there's no obvious answer to that out of the Lennyface lineup. I love that swap.
Yep, very, very smart. Phil Destiny, he's going to try to hit his icicles here, otherwise there's not too much aside from an Orb of Discord.
Yeah, and Albino Joe on the Mercy, pocketing him right now. Raining hell down onto the Lennyface backline, and Tree going down to the TK Thrifty. This is looking good for Wanjiang Tower. Push forward. That's 3 kills real fast. Make that 4. Make that a death. But that ain't gonna stop the cart.
Yep, Rogue Mallet, last one of life here. Gonna possibly get a little staggered. Albino Joe with the tempo res just to keep things going. Questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like they had another fight before the capture here. They're gonna capture this pretty much outright, but actually no. Failed Destiny comes through that tunnel, but it instantly discorded and taken out. Winston jumping in there, try to get everything heat down, and a defensive trains out a half and half. TK Thrifty rocket barrage over the top, only picks up 1 though.
Yeah, fight kind of breaking out on 2 fronts here, but looking like the cart moving forward for Wanjiang Tower again. Worth noting, Tree did switch over to the McCree to add an extra answer for Tim on the Pharah. Not surprised, that's a pretty normal swap for Tree.
Yeah, Failed Destiny, he's holding really up close here because the wall is going to be a lot more effective here, but he might actually get caught out. Discord onto Winston, but...
He drops the Blizzard.
Oh, this is going to be potentially big. Albino Joe somehow not getting frozen on top of the payload.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade there. Failed going down, but Shooter Die going down as well, so that's no Ryan Shield available. But UTech on the Winston does not give a damn, jumping in. He's got the whole monkey available, and he's just flopping his big old monkey dong around.
Oh, Tree almost getting knocked off.
Start to move.
Yeah, and they're pushing it pretty steady here. Tree's gonna go down, and now Lennyface completely out of sorts and staggered. And it's gonna be a pretty good push here. 1 more fight for capture point 2.
Yeah, this has been a super fast move. And Failed Destiny going for the stall here. He's going to buy a little time for his team to show up, but this still looks like a good position for Wanjiang as they get failed. They get Rogue Mallard, and they're going to get Cruise Master. Oh, that was suboptimal Transcendence coming out of half and half. He's going to use it just to run away at the end there. Albino Joe once again going for the tempo res. There are a lot of ults available still for this Wanjiang Tower team. They're going to have 4 as they come into this last stretch here. Much better place on ults than their opponents.
Yeah, TK50 getting a little hyphy there, trying to push him out. But Failed Destiny once again jumps down. Points already captured, so he is going to use the wall to try to stay alive a little bit longer. But he is right next to their spawn. He will go down.
Yeah, this is. Are Lennyface tilting?
Their coordination is just really, really bad this match. Unfortunately for them, they've only had 1 real team fight, full 6 at the very start, but they keep getting staggered. But that's a good first note, sound barrier to start the fight off.
Yeah, but Wanjiang gonna just wait that one out and then approach this fight with a huge ult advantage. They're only about 25% away from having 5 ults, and not much further behind on the 6th res. Although UTech goes down pretty early there. Ball sexy with that finish off. And it's looking like Wanjiang's still willing to fight this as they're starting to pop their ults. Teamic with the Transcendence coming down, but Shooter Die is still going down. The Reinhardt's traded early here. as May's buying time, but that might be okay for Wanjiang to kind of reset things. As they...
Looks like Lenny has stabilized it now, and Veil Destiny, he now has the Blizzard Tree with the Deadeye. But the ult economy on Wanjiang is absurd. 5 out of 6 ultimates. Let's see what they do here.
So Blizzard coming down on the cart, but it only gets 1 as Rogue Mallard goes down on the far side of the fight. Wanjiang doesn't care about the cart. They're going for the kills right now, and they have the ults to do it. So now kind of collapsing back towards the cart. Veil Destiny trying to buy time, but he can't freeze that TK Thrifty out of the air. Half and half dropping the transcend. He's buying time here. And actually, this is looking good. That's 2 kills for Tree. This might have been all right for... Oh, but a huge 4-man res coming out of Albino Joe. Happy play of the game. TK Thrifty kills himself with the barrage again. Are you serious? Oh, no. What a disaster. After such a huge res out of Albino Joe, we're still looking at about a 4 versus 4-ish on this cart, but the cart is not... It's finally starting to move, but Lennys are here to contest, and we know Veil Destiny likes to do so. As UTech going deep, they get the kill on the Tree, though. They get 2. As now Cruise Master in too deep to back out, most likely. This could be bad for Lennys. Those could be the picks. No, Cruise does make it out. That was really huge. I don't think they could have afforded to give up a 3rd kill there.
Yeah, BOL Sexy now switching over to the Zarya, but will he have enough time to even charge up a Graviton before the end of it here? They have no ultimates, but the Reinhardt ultimate is going to be blocked by Cruise Master. Veil Destiny's going to try to stall in the point, baits out the Transcendence.
Keep an eye out. Albino Joe does have the res available again if something goes wrong here, and there is currently a man advantage for Wanjiang. Although they don't have a lot of all-star with UTech once again going in, breaking the line. Albino Joe coming with them, and they get the enemy res. Oh, they get 3 down real fast. Tag Visor coming out trying to stop any attempt of Lennys taking this card back, and I don't see what they're going to be able to do here, as there's a staggered team kill coming out.
Ooh. They just have to touch the point. Oh man, Veil Destiny just got up. He really needed to stay alive there at the end to try to get off that Blizzard. But, you know, at the middle part there of point 3, it was 5 ultimates to 2, and they almost lost that encounter, except for that huge 4-man res out of Joe.
Well, yeah, and they still didn't end up pushing that for a good, 30 seconds after that. It was just a really weird fight where they went in there with 5 ults, and then there were like 2 fights in a row where they would pop 1 ult and then like lose and back out. They never entirely committed properly, but it didn't end up coming back to bite them. It just lost them a little bit of time.
Yep, minute 1 on the clock for them, so could be worse, could be better. It's at least it's something. It's a full minute. Usually, I mean, I guess worst case scenario, you get 2 fights out of that, sometimes 3 if you're real fast at dying. So,
but what could not have been much worse, maybe could have been a lot better. Veil Destiny on the May, that map. I don't know if I have anything good to say about that. And he switched off it accordingly. That just it was really kind of painful in an organized game to see. It was like you have one of those teammates in quick play that's like, no, we always have to contest the cart no matter what. And he doesn't think about like how the game is actually played in the coordinated level. And the number of times he just tried jumping in 1v6 playing some Craig and Hero Ball, not accomplishing much.
Yeah, exactly.
It was rough to watch, man. We hold our casters to a higher standard than that.
I hope so, but so we got Lennys on the offense this time around. Tree having that Pharah selected along with the Mercy out of Rogue Malice, so Pharmacy. Actually, a very standard composition. A standard 2-2-2 with a Pharmacy for Lennys here.
Yeah, I mean, the Pharmacy coming out of both these teams, they're really a lot in, a lot alike, both these teams. Pharmacy, the Soldier, and the Ryan. We see Wanjiang looking content to hold big Earls here.
Yeah, maybe he's going to get some Pharmacy versus Pharmacy battles here. And Lennys, they're pushing the cart pretty steadily. Diva, UTech in that tunnel is going to have to regroup with his friends on big Earls there. TK Thrifty, he's in the back trying to look for the rockets to try to get everyone down. Tree knocks people off big Earls, and the cart is still being pushed. No one is standing on it to contest.
Yeah, Shoot out the first jump in, and they are going to trade Shoot for Rogue Mallard. There wasn't a res available yet, so probably worth, but not super important. But now Tree goes down. This might be the opportunity that Wanjiang is looking for, but they lose Albino Joe.
Yeah, a Helix Rocket to the face. Very clutch out of Field Destiny here on the Soldier, but he'll get taken out in return by TK3. So a really extended, long fight here, but they push the cart a pretty good distance.
Well, Wanjiang keep getting favorable kill trades, but they're never getting on the cart in time. They've given up, maybe 40 or 50 meters. They didn't have to here. As now they have to deal with a Tree going down. Might stop the Lennys push. As Rocket Barrage coming out, but a 2-man res after out of Albino Joe.
Oh, 2-man Earth Shatter there, and Lennys, they're going to keep clearing this out, and I think they have the numbers advantage here. Ball Sexy half and half are in a 2v2 against Chill Out and Shoot and Die.
Enemy contact.
They're just
Shoot guy just going full Beyblade, spinning that shield around,
Oh.
trying to buy as much time as he could, and he did buy a lot of time, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. No, it is enough. UTech is there on the cart, and this point has not been capped yet. Chill Out pushing deep with this tag visor, gets a kill, and then goes down.
Ooh, there's a window for them to cap that point there. They got the flashbang on Chill Out, but he was able to pick up that health back in Big Earls and stay alive, and now it looks like Wanjiang, they're starting to regroup and get the footing here that they need to try to defend the self-destruct, trying to clear people out. Tree demecking UTech here. Shoot or Die is contesting the point. Christmas is going to get slept right on top of it, and Big Earl's high ground is Wanjiang's here. And they will finally fully wipe out Lennys. It seems like they were fighting all the way from the start. Not even a moment to breathe. Yeah.
A hectic first point here, but Wanjiang finally get the full stop they've been looking for. And now there's really maybe 2 fights left for Lennys. Not a ton of ults available. Ooh, Tree, that was a really costly pick. A nice shot out of Chill Out.
Yeah, TK3, he did the full loop around. He is behind them and walks behind them in the tunnel. Launches Rocket Barrage, only picks up 1. Nano Boost for Shoot or Die. And yeah, they're going to keep clearing this out. Maybe almost an unneeded Nano Boost if they're just playing the max value game. But 30 seconds left while everyone regroups. It's actually only going to be 1 fight here for Lennys.
Yeah, there are a lot of ults available, though. They're going to have 4 and about 2% here. So they have the ult advantage to try to keep this game going.
Yeah, they're going to try to
See
go
what
for
they can
Graviton into Earth Shatter, but can they land on the key targets? Chill Out and TK50, they're on top of Big Earls. Soundbarrier comes through for Lennys offensively. Crew's picking up the first 2 kills here, and Chill Out with that visor will have to run away. Albino Joe evens the footing with a 2-man res.
Yeah, now Shooter Die dropping a big hammer down on the cart. There is no one on the cart. They're trying to get there. Half and half gets slept off of it. The Lucio touches it, but it's not going to be enough. And a fairly convincing win on Route 66 for Wanjiang Tower.
Yeah, it was honestly that whole map there is just team coordination. You can tell that Wanjiang is just so much clearly structured in their flow. Who to attack, when do we protect our supports, when do we give up the fight, when do we regroup. It's looking very good for Wanjiang here. And really, Albino Joe with these reses here.
Yeah, this one was big. We give Wanjiang Tower a lot of credit for knowing how to play structured, but like we also said, they have the players who know how to jump in and make the plays. And this was so bad for Wanjiang Tower. And Albino Joe, untouched, casually walks in, gets the 4-man res, and then watches TK Thrifty follow up with one of the misplays of the week, all in one go.
Wow, that was super risky, Joe. He had the 3 men there, and he wanted to juice out that 4th one, and he almost went down before getting that ult off.
Yeah,
All right.
that turned into what turned into capping the last point. So, real nice play for Albino Joe.
All I know is when I press Barracuda, I die.
Yeah, I've never it's strange. I've never seen a Pharah do that so many times before. But here we are.
Yep. Hey man, he doesn't know the hashtag McCree life. You press Q and it's a giant global reminder. Oh yeah, Kill that guy. So 4 bans for Wanjiang here. What do you well for first, like, what do you think for bans here? What is Wanjiang gonna take out of the equation?
Dude, no one knows. This is just gonna be 4 guys or like 6 guys talking about their feelings about maps. Like if they banned 4 different game types, just their least favorite 4 maps, would you be surprised? Because I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. I think that honestly how they go into this match, Lennys really hasn't shown a true preference on any game mode to my knowledge. But I guess if you're thinking about their weaknesses being team coordination, cough, you don't always need that. You just get to kind of team deathmatchy sometimes. Tree could maybe hard frag out of it. But yeah, I don't know here for bans. Probably a couple 2 points seems to be general perception because you don't want to get cheesed. And you definitely don't want to get snowballed and lose your 2 points right away. This is going to be Eichenwald, Oasis, Li Wang, and Nepal. So actually, yeah, this made sense here. They're taking out the randomness and brawliness of the King of the Hills, and also taking out Eichenwald. Maybe that's just one of their lazy. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Eichenwald, which is surprising.
I don't get it. Yeah, I think it's a great map. It's one of my favorites in the game. I think it's kind of a latent racism. You know, a lot of people. World War II wasn't that long ago, and there's a lot of people that still kind of hold that against Nazi Germany. I think Eichenwald is kind of a trigger for some people. You know, because the Omnic Crisis is such a strong metaphor for what happened there.
That's true.
And I'm sure you're all very familiar with the Omnic Crisis by now.
Oh, yeah, dude. Zenyatta is an Omnic. Yeah, dude, I care about lore of my competitive multiplayer games. Don't think otherwise. And what we'll be thinking, though, is Ilios will be the pick for Lennys here. So they actually picked the remaining King of the Hill, and maybe they kept it up for a reason. Maybe they baited him into picking that.
Now arriving at Ilios.
That would be some next level shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that.
So we got all types of booping obstacles here on Ilios. It is that map.
Man, you know, I used to really hate Ilios, and it's turned into one of my favorite maps in the game lately.
Yeah, a lot of the times for me, I mean, I think most of the Overwatch maps are pretty balanced. There's a few outliers here and there, but I just mainly go for aesthetic, and I like it's kind of like bright and sunny here in Oasis. But yeah. Also on the inverse, I like Lijiang because it's in it.
Well, Lijiang's like objectively one of the top 2 or 3 maps in the game. I don't think you can argue against that. Yeah. But as we're coming out here, we got some new picks coming. TK50 on the Tracer. Looking like Lennys gonna be running the pharmacy this time. Oh, I got my hopes up.
Yeah.
But I'm probably a little more excited to see the Mei. TK50 is a dirty, disgusting Mei 1 trick.
Oh yeah. Very, very much so. And she has a lot of opportunity to perform well here.
Capture the objective.
Otherwise, a lot of standard affairs out of both of these teams. You know, these guys, they don't like switching their picks a whole lot. And this kind of reflects that.
Yep.
Let's see, which can the pharmacy be shut down?
Shudai is going way over by himself, and he is going to start standing on that point and getting it in line for Wanjiang, but he charges in, and he might get factored out of the fight. Teammate actually picking up the boop, the first blood of the fight onto Cruise Master, 1-for-1 though, thus far. And Tree is staying alive. He has that pharmacy combo for him onto the point. And teammate with another boop.
Ooh, and it looks like Lennys still wanted to contest that, but they don't get onto the point on time, so instead they're going to just give up a bunch of extra ult charge for free there with some miscoordination. And what a weird take out of Wanjiang. Shooter Guy looked like he was going way too ham ahead of his team there. Goes for a charge kill, I thought for sure he was dead, and then just kind of casually backs that ass up, gets out no problem, and they win the fight.
Yeah, I just have to wonder, like, is Lennys, are they calling out these targets? Yeah, to us, I mean, we have the overhead, but very obvious takedown. Once you drop that shield, you should have been down. But here we are in the second fight. Albino Joe does have the res. He's going to try to stay back in hidden. 3 ultimates for Wanjiang here. Utek using that Primal Rage right inside. Tree using Rocket Barrage to try to dissuade. And here comes the Blizzard out of TK Thrifty.
TK Thrifty going in by himself like a man. Merry Christmas, slowing that ass down. Gets Rogue Mallard. Keeping things at a 1-for-1 here.
Yep,
Ooh.
this is good. This is good for Wanjiang. And when you have the point, it's good not to get wombo combo, but just play the fights really, really slowly and draw it out as much as you can, because Lennys, they have to worry about killing everyone first. They can't cap this, and it's up to 65% now.
Yeah, there's a nice res out of Joe on the tail end of that fight, keeping things 6v4 on the points. Rogue Mallard with not all what? This fight was over, yet 2 ults come out of Lennys there.
Yeah, and TK Thrifty, he's surviving that hook there into Ice Block, and yeah, Wanjiang, they're just getting free reign on pretty much everything. Shell's in the back, free firing on Soldier. Albino Joe seemingly untouched a lot of these fights.
Yeah, only time for the desperation fights is a 1-for-1 gonna open things up here.
This is do or die for Lennys here. Failed Destiny, he's on the side, he's getting chased by Usyk on that Winston. He does get taken out. Now both healers are down for Lennys. There goes Cruise Master. And it all looks lost for this point for Lennys.
Yeah, Tree in there trying to make the hero play for his team, but not going to. Heroes do die. We're on to map 2 with there was really not a single point where that. Okay, I guess there was maybe one point where things looked alright for Lennys, and that was when Shooter Die was solo on the points. Didn't look good again after that.
No, and chained into 3 boops in a row for Team Hick, and you just have to respect the edges. And Ilios is all about it's like you're playing against the other team, but you're also playing against the map on a lot of these parts.
Yeah, you know, I feel like Team Hick's kind of turned into the underrated player on Wanjiang Tower with just how much room there is to talk about everybody else. The man is a boot machine, and he always has been. I am not surprised to see these guys leaving Ilios open, because I have played with him for a long time. It doesn't matter. He finds the boops, especially on Ilios, and he will be happy to just stick on that Lucio all map long. And those boys on Lennys gotta start respecting the holes.
Yeah, and Cruise Master with his Orisa pick
now,
here.
Speaking of hole play, though, Cruise Master went off here on Well last week on the Orisa. We'll see if he can have that impact again.
Yep, TK Thrifty, he's in the back line though, and this Reaper has to Wraith form out. Utek gonna pick up first blood here on the Ball of Sexy, but it's traded right back for him at the boop.
Oh, it begins. Tree gets the knock in on Shooter Die. This looking good for Lennys. And gonna be their cap.
Oh, Failed Destiny dropping shield and going in, trying to just pick up a random charge kill, but maybe not what you need right after you cap the point here. And but they will pick up the stragglers. Pretty bad here for Wanjiang can stagger like this.
And it starts with Tree with the boop onto Team Hick. That's Tree's second boop into the well so far in not a very long amount of time.
Yep, maybe we'll see some switch outs of Wanjiang. Shooter Die on the Roadhog. Don't believe he was running that right off the bat. Yeah, he has very low ult percentage there, so...
That?
Yeah.
I think that's Shooter Die's first hero switch of the season. I'm not even kidding.
I know. That's the funny part. Yeah, he is that Rhine player, man. That stable main tank that you've always wanted. Tree in the back with the rocket rod picks up 3.
Oh, TK
Wait,
50 take notes. That's how you press Q.
Oh.
And that is huge. Wipes Wanjiang off the board.
Almost potentially bad there. Albino Joe looked like he was pretty well hidden, but he was just waiting for that ult charge. He still doesn't even have it now, so it surely was going to be a lost fight for Wanjiang anyway you spin it. But Lennys, now they're holding this main choke. Tree is on fire here on the Sparrow. He's been an absolute monster, but TK Thrifty maybe get into the backline. He's up top.
Yeah, could be going for the big drop as Utek going for a play up on the roof against the Pharah. Huh?
Yep, TK50 and Wanjiang, they go dive in onto the back line, and they have to pop the Transcendence to stay alive. Lennys rotating over onto this right side. Cruise Master Rogue Melon, now there's the sound barrier for Lennys. Albino Joe comes in with that Discord on him. I don't think he has to use the res this fight at one-man kill for TK Thrifty.
Cruise sucks him on in.
Half and half, using the attack visor along with the Primal Rage. Oh, actually, that's for Wanjiang, and looks like Lennys, they were trying to win that fight. Bill Destiny goes in.
Wanjiang played that out well. And they're finally going to get a cap. Phil Destiny going in way too late there.
Yeah.
Someone needs to tell him that the SPL has ended. He can start playing video games well again, man.
Yeah, it's just seemingly like no one is saying, "Hey, hold up, please wait."
Should we do that? Should we just message him right now? Is that kosher?
Oh, and shoot or die for Wanjiang. He picks up the hook onto half and half, so potentially another lost fight for Lennys. They're kind of backing up, and I think they might be waiting. Maybe not. Albino Joe with that temple res, and we'll have the numbers here. Earthshatter goes on to shoot or die. The charge comes in for Phil Destiny and picks him up. Supercharger for Cruise Master on this Orisa, but he also chill out. Oh, the booster pack for TK13 keeps him alive. And Lennys, it's all over the place right now. It actually seems like a pretty fair fight. Wanjiang might even have the better end of it.
Yeah, Tree's once again trying to make big plays, but he's got teammates here to back him up finally. Wanjiang's got to be careful not to step off of this point, as they've still got people just getting back from spawn down, half and half, dropping the trans, buying some time here. As it looks like both teams, this is now a full 6v5, it looks like.
Yeah. Sound barrier from Wanjiang out of teammate, half and half at the attack visor on the side, but he's not able to pick up anything really. Shooter dies right behind him on this Roadhog. Maybe he'll land the hook here, and this is really bad. They kept this fight going for almost 80%. You gotta know when you lost the fight and reset.
No. And there's a 2-for-2 happening here. Oh, this is close. Oh no, Wanjiang, they've all stepped off. They still have people alive.
Yeah, and now it's flipped over overtime, but this is in favor of Lennys right now, and they have the barrier wash, Orisa and Reinhardt, to stick on it and not die here.
TK50 tapping that point as much as he can. He's bought time for 2 to get there, but they are only the healers. Albino Joe trying to charge. Rez does not get those healers are now down. The rocket barrage comes out of Tree, and he says, "Stay the fuck off my point."
Whoa, almost a real tilt-worthy loss there for Lennys, man, because they kept just going in, staggering, thinking, oh yeah, we can win this, we'll just flip it. You know, just get the lost fight, man. You lose the first 2, full day reset. Only hurting yourself, but I guess they really needed that one fight, and they were able to pull it out. Albino Joe, no res in his pockets. Curious if Cruise Master's going to stick on the Orisa. It's an alright pick here still. Some good cover. You can hide behind all these columns with the barrier she has.
Yeah, Cruz is a very big fan of the hero, so I would not be surprised to see him stick with it, and it's looking like he will as this game starts.
Oh, dude, Lennys, they're just trying to figure out who's good at what heroes, man. Because Phil Destiny's now on Soldier, and now half and half's on the Reinhardt. I swear those 2 players have now played all 3 categories, DPS, tank, and healing. We'll see what happens here. Pharmacy for Wanjiang. But no mercy to match on Lennys here.
Yeah, point opens, both these guys jumping in, but TK50 gonna be the first one to be hit scanned out of the skies. It's looking chaotic as the Reinhardts both go down. Albino Joe and Phil Destiny going down. But it's looking like Wanjiang are... they're getting man advantage, and now they're finally starting to push forward on this point, but Rogue Mallet is just buying so much time here. Ball is Sexy joining him.
Yeah, he was trying to pick up that quick kill on Chill Out with that Discord, but he gets baited into the dome from Winston here, and this fight is still happening though, but now it's starting to lean towards Wanjiang here, and gets pushed out, and there's the cap.
Yeah, it was looking good for a moment there for Lennys, but not long enough. Point going over to Wanjiang. And they are in a very good spot on ults here. The ones they don't have, they are close to. And they're getting picks without him even, making things worse for Lennys.
Yep. Just these... But in situations like this, when you just keep getting those random picks, it just really means so much. Because the team that's attacking, they just have to wait a couple, 10 seconds. But it's kind of tilting to wait this long and to not be able to fight. There's the sound barrier for the offensive push, but where is it?
Maybe a bit earlier, and Rogue Mallet's gonna go down for his crimes against supporting. And this is not looking like a good fight here for Lennys. Fairly late Transcendence coming on a ball is sexy, and he's gonna die anyways. Not even requiring any ults besides the tack visor out of Wanjiang to hold the points.
Yeah, this Wanjiang, they really have a good hold of this one. They're all over the place too because they have that pharmacy and that Winston, but also that sort of that anchor tank and Reinhardt. They can just sort of move around anywhere, adapt to the terrain. That's ahead of them.
Goes deep, tosses down the barrage, but only trades himself for Rogue Mallard. This could be the opportunity that Lennys is looking for, as they do have a lot of ults available as well. Just the 2 support ults that they're missing. And they're now charging in. The Rhines charging into each other. But oh no, 2 go down so early in this fight. Oh, this is just a disaster for Lennys.
Yeah, Field Destiny not even getting 3 seconds in the attack visor before he gets taken out. And it's up to 92%. I don't know. They're just going to have to put someone on the point. Rogue Mallet, he's the one on the Lucio. He just has to stand on it and try to contest it and get into that overtime. Discord makes him go down extremely quickly there, so there's going to be no healing for Lennys in this fight. Tree with the Rocket Barrage, last effort, but it won't be enough. Just the ult economy out of Wanjiang is too good.
Yeah, TK Thrifty finishing things off here, keeping dudes off the points, and that was another very clean round for Wanjiang Tower.
Score 2-1.
All right, well, we're back to well, though. So this is Cruise Masters Orisa highlight map here. A good thing for Lennys here, because they're going to have to win this one to even it up and force that map 5.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure out of Lennys to know that this is the only map they were able to win, and even then it was 99 to 100.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So,
oh, yeah.
They know they can't play really any worse than they did the first time they were here. And we do see some more new picks here coming out for Lennys. We got Failed Destiny switching over to the Reaper.
And Tree on the McCree. So, a very uncommon coordination of the 2 DPS characters there, but it can work. Maybe expecting the triple tank.
Yeah, I think they've got history. I think they both used to be in Overwatch together.
Oh, yeah.
But regardless of their lore backgrounds, 3 members going down real fast here for Lennys. Not what Wanjiang was hoping to do to start this one off. Giving over the points, giving over a lot of ult charge.
Yep.
Gonna have to dig themselves out of this well if they want to come back on this map.
Yes, indeed.
Get it? Dig themselves out of this well because they're on well, the map. I don't know if you caught that. It was pretty witty.
Yeah.
Please laugh. Alright, so we got the regroup coming out of Lennys here. Tree kind of setting up on the flank. He's a third of the way away from that ult still, so probably not going to be finding anything too crazy unless he can click some heads. As his team all trying to push through here on the right. They've made it in onto the point without being killed off in the choke, but Tree was picked off while this was all going on. Oh no! This was not good. 3 go down so fast there for Lennys. This Tree is on his way back from spawn. Trans coming out of T-Mix should be enough to cap this points.
You know, because why not? The trans wasn't even needed there. But, like, why not just ensure no one dies? And you keep in no question they're going to lose this one again because they have 3 more ults and quickly 2 more ults coming up. So it's going to be a full 5 out of 6.
And, you know, sometimes using the Zenyatta, since you just see 2 criticals, you just hit Q. You don't worry about anything else. So
4
I
ults
don't
on the
blame
side of
them for that
Lennys,
one.
though.
Yeah, Lennys not in the worst part on ult economy. They haven't been wasting ults in these bad fights, but oh no, bad pick as Tree goes down to the U-Tech. As TK Thrifty gonna be pharmacy boosted in, gets a triple kill with the rocket barrage. Oh man,
no.
there's not much time remaining here for Lennys to figure this out, and they still have to fight into 4 opposing ults.
Yep, and honestly, I don't think they can win another fight here as long as Albino Joe keeps that res second. Rogue Mallard, Rogue Mallard is gonna stay alive here, hopefully, and pop out his res, but it'll just be a counter res over the top for Wanjiang. Now here comes the Deadeye from Tree, not able to pick anything up. Earth Shatter from Shooter Die onto the back line of Lennys, but they're just gonna run away onto the point and ignore him. Only the 1-man res out of Rogue Mallard, and it's gonna be a complete wipe here. Shooter Die going off. 3 kills for him on Reinhardt.
Yeah, convincing win out of Wanjiang Tower there. That was 100-0, right?
Yep.
Ouch.
Yep.
Play of the game gonna be Teemic on the Lucio, taking you down to Boop City.
Ooh, there's one. And just gonna do a 360, casual 360. There's another one.
Oh man.
And there's a third one even after that, guys. So that, I mean, you're just walking into it at that point.
So 3 maps they win 100-0, 1 they lose 99-100. Wanjiang probably feeling pretty good coming off of that one. And that makes me wonder if we might see something cheesy coming out of them here on this last map.
Yeah.
Please forgive us. This is our first time running this league, actually.
Alright, yeah, what will they pick? Honestly, I don't think they're going to go with the same bands, because at this point, Wanjiang, they feel pretty in control of their destiny. And I think they might just pick, they'll let the whole playfield be open for Lennys. They want to go to any map right now and test how good they are on that map, regardless of all the other variables. And just kidding. Gonna go with the same bands. Well, we'll see. Obviously, they can't pick Ilios. Oh, wait, can they?
They could, because they lost
could.
on it.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think they will.
What if we go back? Oh my god.
You know, maybe you go for a 2 capture point, just drastically change things up from what you've been doing.
Yep. Actually, they might be pulling out a Dorado. Just because of Tree's Junkrat. It is very, very good, and as long as one of these other guys are able to run Symmetra, you can really put up a good Stonewall defense under that bridge on first point Dorado. Maybe Numbani or Gibraltar as well. We don't get to see those maps a lot. A lot of people don't seem to like those ones here.
Yeah, it's really weird that Numbani and Gibraltar get, you know, linked up together, because Gibraltar is a great map with a lot of really exhilarating places to play through, and Numbani is absolute garbage that should be removed from the rotation.
You know, honestly, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard rumor that they might add in-season rotations, like maps into like this, you know, like Counter-Strike basically. Each competitive season would have a set of maps, but I assume that's much further down the road when there's plenty more maps.
Yeah, fortunately they haven't been going too breakneck on the pace here, which I've liked. I think it's nice to play a small enough pool of maps.
Yep, and for map 3 here in match number 2, it's gonna be Hollywood. Fun map. A lot of people love this one. It's a fun first point capture here, able to pull out a variety of strategies. Triple support. It looks like it might be.
Oh, they're gonna do it.
They're doing it. Oh boy.
Oh baby, Symmetra, Torbjorn, Mercy.
Yeah. Yeah. This is good. The triple. I honestly, this is like, I think in pro level, this is called triple support. Like Torbjorn is kind of like a support at the very high levels of play. The armor packs are very, very good. It also paired with the shield generator makes it incredibly difficult to take anyone down on your team.
Do you expect the shield gen or do you expect the teleporter?
I expect shield gen. With Torbjorn, I think most Symmetras will always go shield gen. But it depends on the situation too. It depends on if his team's dying and he just gets it and is able to put it up. So we'll see. But it looks like Torbjorn's going to be on the right for the attackers here. I think that one's just to build up all charts. They're going to rebuild it on the way back there, and that's actually where they're setting up shop. Torb in the way back here, along with the Mercy. Fairly standard composition here for Lenny phase. 2-2-2, along with that pharmacy to try to get him some picks here for Tree. A little bit of alt charge. Already 50% for Joe on the Symmetra.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
70%.
Yeah, and they move up the staircase for Lenny face. No one has gone down yet, and they do get the high ground, and there comes the charge in for Cruise Master straight into Cafe. Sim turrets being taken out. Charm turret now going down as well, but UTech and Shooter die. Picking up 2 crucial kills. There's T-Mech in on the mix. D-Mech and Failed Destiny. And pretty strong hold here for Wanjiang. There's a couple members in Alley that might be staggered out, and they are. Rogue Mallard now just going down. Baby Diva on Failed Destiny. He gets that mech back, and we'll see if he can try to fly away. But he doesn't. He gets demeched.
Nice push there out of Wanjiang as they get the hook. They are not done getting these picks, maybe. As Albino Joe putting the teleporter online.
Ooh. Yep, and now Teamwick with the Torbolt as well. And a res, so a lot of defensive ultimates here.
Ooh, a nice hook on Tree on the backline by UTech as it's... Oh, big reses! 2 separate 3-man resurrects coming out as this fight going down on the point. T-Mix turret still untouched, doing work under the molten core there. As it's looking like on the hold, gonna be going Wanjiang's way. They get Failed Destiny out of the mech. Zero Suit's gonna get sniped out by the Torbjorn. And it's just gonna be ball of sexy tuck and tail out of there.
Yeah, it's just the target calling for Lenny face. They're really just all over the place. Really not able to select the targets they need to here, and still gonna be a pretty good ult economy for Wanjiang. Really, just the Earth Shatter and the attack visor from up top might be enough for them to hold it, along with teleport charges. Sound barrier comes up for Rogue Mallard for Lenny face, so this would be the time to go in here. Hook comes out, Rocket Barrage on top.
Only gets one with it though, not what they needed there. Tree maybe trying a little too hard to force that one, but he did buy time for some guys to get back into the alley. But it's not looking like they're able to totally commit on this. There's the pincer play coming here. But the tanks for Wanjiang have kind of made it behind one of the flanks. And the healer's going down for Lenny face. Man, this has not been a good night for Lenny face.
No, it is not. It's just even little synergies too. Like Tree just sort of popping up there, doing that far range, far out. Maybe just to push him off the point. But Failed Destiny's on the defense, man. Defense matrix him, you know. Like you just got to work, help your teammates be the carries.
Yeah, that looked like kind of a tilt ult on a Tree. I'm gonna be honest. It looked like we're getting wrecked. I have to make a hero play. Failed Destiny gonna only get the turrets with his ult, but that's better than nothing. Tree wants it down, going early to the tag visor. A 2-res coming out of half and half here though, so Tree is back up, going into the air. But the Demon turrets, or the Symmetra turrets, putting a lot of damage onto him, and it doesn't matter. That is a team kill for Wanjiang Tower, who still have a Resurrect available for this next fight, and there will be zero chance of an ultimate available for Lennys.
Yep, and they will have time to regroup fully before they go in here. So it's just one very uneven fight, in my opinion. TK50 still on this Mercy, and it's so hard to find Mercy sometimes in that cafe area, or potentially even up on top of the elevator, but I don't think it doesn't even matter. You're not even going to be able to res somebody here. Wanjiang going to take this last fight without even losing anybody, and it's the full hold on Hollywood.
Complete.
Team kill in overtime.
Score 0.
GR.
0.
Do you think that was a GR?
Sides.
It said GR. I don't know. Do you think he meant, like, do you think he meant to hit, like, a different letter or something?
Maybe GT, G4. No, I probably meant that.
What a positive player. I'm so glad we have a few people like him in our league that aren't dropping diss tracks and can say good round after they lose. Because we need that. We need that to balance the people like me and you out.
Yeah. That's good, by the way. Thank you for that, because I wake up and get ready for work, and I hit with the disc, and then I'm just sitting at my desk at work. I'm like, what do I do with my life now? Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just put me in a weird mood the whole day.
Well, good. You know, like I say in the track, you're bad and you should feel bad. All right, so swapping things up. Gonna take a full. Or sorry, they cannot even give up a single tick here, Lennys. Do you think that's gonna happen?
I believe in Lennys 2017.
All right, so once again, we've got this is a few times now we've seen really late hero selections of the defense. Tree picking the McCree at 20 seconds there. But we're going to see another Symmetra comp coming here on defense. And some pretty normal stuff. The Mei out of TK30, the only thing that looks not super standard, but still very standard for that team out of Wanjiang.
Yeah, I hope they use the Mei wall creatively here on the push-in. There's a strategy where you push in through the IT room, wall yourself, and then you quickly slide over to the right, and you do a full loop around and get cafe high ground from behind them. Hoping they do that, and maybe TK50 is looking for that. Has to ice block early here.
Ooh, the Symmetra goes down though. Chill out with a nice Helix rocket. Now Shooter Die going in. Wanjiang doesn't have to play this slow. They know they can just play this better. But TK50 goes down. But still 2 going down for Lennys as Shooter Die on the point, swinging that hammer around.
Yeah.
Tree and Failed Destiny both going down. This looking like a disaster as it's just the Diva on the point trying to buy some time here. But he's nearly flying too high in the air. You gotta go contest that, my man. Half of that finally drops back down to earth, buying as much time as Baby Diva can. But he steps off, he steps into hell, and he dies. GG, one of the most stompy nights you could imagine coming out of Wanjiang Tower.
1-0.
Yeah, the full 3-0 match against Lennys here, and yeah, that last attack on Hollywood, that was just some textbook stuff. Taking out Symmetra first, you're always going to win that fight.
Play of the match.
So, play of the game gonna be Albano Joe on that Symmetra.
Cool.
Right here in overtime.
Oh!
Triple kill. Quadruple kill.
Fully charged up there. Oh, man.
Kill.
It's time for a true display of skill.
And honestly, Albano Joe Symmetra this season, it hasn't really been answered. It's just that good, I think. And maybe it's just in this league, there's just not enough coordination to try and take out the Symmetras, but he's been doing a fantastic job on it. Yeah,
he has, and he's always been a very big fan of the hero. I mean, it's one of his best heroes of any role, and I wouldn't be. I expect we're going to see Wanjiang maybe lean on it a little bit more going forward because it's been that successful.
Yeah, exactly. But that will do it here for us tonight, folks, at the Betty Overwatch League. That'll conclude Week 3 Next week, though, is going to be see you in the finals, going up against very aggressive Genji, and with Stony Baloney going up against Lenny Face. We'll see you there.